Good Thursday morning, racing fans. It's Mike from horseracingbarns.com. Yesterday we had a little key scratch in our early pick 4, but on the video, if you listened, our alternate horse in there was the 3, and he was the winner, which made us alive with 2 horses going into that last leg of the pick 4, and finished second in that last leg, and we had a $24 horse in that second leg of that early pick 4. Had a couple of races later on that we thought were singles that turned out to be singles. Lost in the last leg, but that card wasn't my favorite. Today's is a little better. Tomorrow's will be a little better, and then Saturday's course will be really good. So, in the first race today at Keeneland, it's a $50,000 open claimer for at 1 1/16. I really like number 4 here, Aridus. This is a Michael Matz trained horse with Julian Leparoux on it, who's really run every race. Has been a good one. His last race was at Keeneland last April. He's been off ever since, and it was good as well. I'm just going to single him in a race that I'm not. You could go a lot of different ways. But in the second race, we start our early pick 4. And I think we got a couple of singles in this pick 4. So we're going to spread in the other 2 races. And one of those spread races is this one. And it's a $20,000 at 2 lifetime at 1 1/16. I like number 3, AP Eli. This horse is really bred well. AP Indy out of the Mare Island Sand. Ran second at this level last time out at Oaklawn. Shipped up to Keeneland. There's a couple of starts on synthetic at Keeneland. Ran okay. This is a wide open race, so I'm going to use the 3. I also like number 9. And that's Mr. Tribute. Dale Romans, horse shipping in from Gulfstream. Been running at 30,000 on the grass, running good. Gets Rajiv Mirage. I think you have to use him. I think you also have to use the 10, who's coming out of similar races from Gulfstream and has been running competitively. His last 3 numbers have kind of dipped each time, but the switch to synthetic might be just what he needs. I think you got to use 3, 9, and 10. Race 3 is a straight maiden race at 1 1/8 for fillies. This is a pretty competitive race, but I settled on just one in here. I'm going to go with Life's Candy. This is Chad Brown. He's only started 2 horses at the meet. The horse really has a great pedigree to go 1 1/8. His last race on grass down at Gulfstream was good after a bad start. He's only run twice. She's only run twice. I'm going to single her and hope that we can get past this leg here. If we do, we're going to go 4 deep in race 4, and that's a 30,000 maiden claimer, sprinting at 6 furlongs. I like number 3, Ribbon Taffy. This horse hasn't run since the fall at Keeneland last year. Was second for 80,000. Taking a big drop. It's kind of a little bit suspect, the drop, but the horse is kind of a homebred, so we're going to just say that they don't care if they lose them. We don't want them to beat us. We also like number 8, Virginia Ann. This is a horse shipping in from Charlestown and Laurel. Has not run a bad race in 4 starts. Gets Gabriel Saez. I think you have to use this one. Number 10 is Glamour Galore. First-time starter for Al Stahl. Been down at the fairgrounds, his home base in the winter. Gets Shane Sellers. Got to use him. The other one I like is number 12, Know in Advance. This horse has run a couple of good races at Turfway and Maiden Special Weight. Runs here for Maiden Claiming. It's probably about the same class. The numbers aren't great for this horse, but I think he could upset at a price. Which brings us to the 5th race and the start of the pick 5. And we got a 2-year-olds going 4.5 furlongs here, and Wesley Ward has 2 in the race. One is Handsome Jack, who was entered a few days ago and scratched. The other is a horse named the Roofer. He's by a stallion named Fairbanks, who I had the pleasure to be around, and he was about as good looking an animal as I ever seen. He was just gorgeous. This looks like this horse has worked a few more times than the other one. He's go-to riders on the 1, but I'm going to go with number 3, the Roofer. That's going to make us a very cheap early pick 4 ticket of only $6. 3, 9, 10 with 8, with 3, 8, 10, 12 with 3. We'll move on to race 6 here, and this starts the late pick 4, and it's the second leg of the pick 5. It's a non-winners of 2 other than allowance at 1.5 miles. It's the male counterpart to yesterday's filly race at 1.5 miles. I like Minister Colin. He's taken a little bit of a step up in class, but he's won at 1.5 miles. He's by a really nice mare I had the joy to be around named Minister's Baby. She was really a nice filly. Got to use her, Leparoux. He's won on the horse twice. Number 2, Point of Entry. Johnny V for Shug McGahee. Also has a good 1.5 mile pedigree. Hasn't run since February, but I believe you must use here. The other one I'm going to put in there is number 6, Pleasant Run for Kenny McPeak. Horse with another strong pedigree to get to 1.5 miles. Just won at 1 mile 3/8 at Churchill in November. So he's been at least close to that distance. So I'll use the 1, 2, 6 here. We move on to race 7. 7 furlongs. A other than allowance. A spread race for me. Like number 3, Sweet Miss Avery for Mike Stidham. Horse just broke its maiden at Fairgrounds, going 5.5 on turf. There's a lot of speed in this race, and it could set up for a horse from behind. But I like number 3, Jimmy Graham. Number 7 is Fantasy of Flight, which is going to be the favorite. This horse has never tried the turf or the synthetic. Has run some big numbers in New York and at Churchill last spring. Johnny V could be the favorite and could be a vulnerable favorite because of its lack of experience on this kind of surface. I like number 9, Magic Mesa for Jonathan Shepard. Anytime Julian Leparoux gets on Jonathan Shepard horse, you have to take a second look. This horse did run good on the grass at Gulfstream. And lastly, that'll be it. That'll be it, 3, 7, and 9. Race 8 is the Grade 1 Vinery Madison for fillies and mares going 7 furlongs. Now, the horse to beat in here for me is Musical Romance. She's the filly and mare sprint, Breeders' Cup Sprint winner last year. Boy, she just fights every fight. She's coming off of a very impressive win at Gulfstream in her second start of the year. This is her 3rd start. She is definitely going to be the horse to beat. She's run well here in the past. The only other horse that I would say you could use in here would be number 8, Groupie Doll. And Groupie Doll's been facing some very good horses. She faced Awesome Maria. She was beaten by Musical Romance last time. And she just didn't have that punch that I like to see down the lane. But she's run well here at Keeneland. She was only beaten ahead here in the Raven Run last year. She gets blinkers on for the first time. And, you know, this could be just exactly what she needs. Rajee Mirage sticks with her. If you're going to use 2, I believe it's those 2. The race 9 is the last leg of the pick 4 and the pick 5. It's a mile turf race for non-winners of a race other than allowance horses. This is a spread race for me. Number 4 is Modulate from Bill Mott. Broke its maiden at first asking at Gulfstream, was then sent to a stake race at Tampa. Didn't fare so well. This horse is cross-entered for another race either Friday or Saturday, so might be a scratch. Number 6 is Anna Sophia, another Billy Mott trained horse. This has got Lescano. Just ran a very nice race against Carlo Vivari, who won the Ashland. Was only beaten 1.5 lengths by that horse. This could be a single. We'll see how she takes to the synthetic. 7 is Tell Me Everything for Graham Motion. 3 nice races on grass after a dull effort on dirt. Bred for the turf. We'll see how she She handles the switch up to Kentucky, but she looks like she's very live in here. Number 9 is Sweet and Lovely. Ian Wilkes, big second last time out at Gulfstream on the grass in a very fast run race. I think you have to use her. And number 10 is Run a Risk for Rusty Arnold. Comes out of the same race as 9 Sweet and Lovely. Was blocked late. It was his first start of the year. Should improve off that. Gets his go-to rider in Jimmy Graham. So at pick 4, the pick 5 ticket's going to be $45. And it's 3 with 1, 2, 6, with 3, 7, 9, with 2, 8, with 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. And keep in mind there might be a scratch or two in that last race. Well, we wish everyone good luck out there. Tomorrow is Maker's Mark Mile Day. And then Saturday, of course, is the Bluegrass Stakes and the Arkansas Derby as we get closer and closer to the first Saturday of May. Good luck to everyone. And as always, may the horse be with you.